Every era in Nigerian football has had its hero. In the 1990s, it was Rashidi Yekini. In the 2000s, it was J.J. Okocha. Today, it's Victor Osimhen, the roaring heart of the Super Eagles. But what happens when that heart stops beating? What happens when Nigeria's number 9, the man who carries the hope, is not there? This is Solving the Osimhen Problem. A deep look at Nigeria's dangerous dependency on one man, and the tactical blueprint that could save the Super Eagles before December AFCON and the 2026 World Cup playoff. The Super Eagles is blessed with an attack most African nations would only dream to have. Victor Boniface at Bayer Leverkusen. Ademola Lookman at Atalanta. Samuel Chukwueze on loan at Fulham. Cyril Dessers, Tolu Arokadare, Akaya Adams, Kelechi Iheanacho, Terem Moffi, Taiwo Awoniyi, and much more, all playing in Europe's elite leagues. You would expect that with such a squad bursting with high-value European talents, scoring goals should be the least of its problem, but looking closely at the scorecard, and you see the truth. The entire attacking ambition of the team rests on the shoulders of one man, Victor Osimhen. This is not just a pattern, it is a crisis. A crisis of dependency that threatens to derail the team in future engagements, if not sorted out timely and properly. Since making his senior debut in 2017, Osimhen has scored a whopping 29 goals in just 43 appearances, averaging nearly 0.67 goals per game, a scoring rate higher than even the great Rashidi Yekini, who averaged 0.60 goals per game. Osimhen's record isn't just numbers. It's salvation in motion. He is a generational talent, whose absence causes the engine to stall. In Nigeria's 4-0 demolition of Benin Republic recently, he struck a hat-trick in the 3rd, 37th, and 51st minutes. Each goal delivered with ruthless precision. That high-stake match secured Nigeria's ticket to the World Cup playoffs in Morocco. But beneath that triumph lies a worrying truth. When the pressure peaks, the team collapses into a one-dimensional rhythm. Find Osimhen, or fail. It's now a pattern that's become systemic and not strategic. Football is about numbers, and numbers don't lie. Osimhen has scored nearly half of Nigeria's total goals since 2021. When he's absent, the team's goals per game drops by almost 40%. The pattern extends beyond country borders. At Napoli, his former club, the impact was identical. With Osimhen on the pitch, Napoli won 60.5% of their matches, averaging 1.97 goals per game. Without him, those numbers fell to 53.9% and 1.76 goals per game. A 10.6% reduction in offensive output and a visible tactical imbalance. This isn't coincidence, it's rather evidence that Osimhen's presence doesn't just elevate, it defines the team's scoring capacity. But that level of reliance carries danger. Because even machines break when one part bears all the weight. When Osimhen isn't there, the story changes drastically. In friendlies and qualifiers he missed between 2022 and 2024, Nigeria often looked toothless. Games against Lesotho, Zimbabwe, and South Africa exposed the problem. Plenty of possession, zero penetration. Even with attackers like Boniface, Moffi, or Chukwueze on the field. The Eagles' movements looked hesitant, like an orchestra waiting for its conductor. The ball reached the final third, and suddenly, nobody seemed sure what to do next. Osimhen's absence doesn't just remove a striker, it removes structure. The question is, why does only Osimhen work? Osimhen is a specialist in disruptive verticality. He doesn't just run fast, he creates the illusion of distance by manipulating space and forcing defenders to commit, pulling the entire defensive line out of shape. The wingers, Lookman, Chukwueze, and Moses Simon, rely entirely on the chaos Osimhen creates. If he is gone, the defense remains compact, and the entire attack collapses. Victor Boniface, for example, is a deep-lying forward who links play. He needs intricate, combination passing. But the wide players prefer to hold onto the ball, dribble, cut in and shoot. They don't have the chemistry Boniface needs, the kind that his club teammates have who know where he is running to and can release the ball to him without looking. This is made worse by international football's biggest constraint: the team trains for under 3 days before a match. This forces the coach to rely on rudimentary tactics built around Osimhen's simple, vertical runs. This dependency is not theoretical. It's a ticking time bomb as Super Eagles head into high-stakes knockout tournaments. First, the 2026 World Cup playoffs in Morocco. They face a single-elimination mini-tournament against Gabon in the semi-final, followed by a potential final against Cameroon or DR Congo. The semi-final and final are scheduled within 3 days. The compressed schedule demands rotation and depth. If Osimhen suffers a suspension, or a team doubles up on him, thereby limiting the amount of times the ball could get to him, it would prove fatal to the team as evident in the past. Currently, Coach Shell has no established backup plan for now. Nigeria are drawn into AFCON Group C with Tunisia, and the North Africans recently finished their World Cup qualifying run with 9 wins and 0 goals conceded. It shows they have a strong defense, and if they can neutralize Osimhen, the Eagles must have another goal source. The ultimate danger is the case of injury catastrophe. And it happens, it will spell doom for the team. And to avoid this subsequently, Super Eagles must be structurally flop-proof, independent of the fitness of one superstar. The immediate solution to this worry is tactical dualism. Coach Shell must establish and train 2 systems, System Alpha, vertical play for Osimhen, and System Beta, rotational play for when he's out. Unlocking the secondary scorers. The coach must turn the wingers into inverted goal threats. Ademola Lookman, described as a counter-attacking cheat code, must be mandated to operate in the attacking half spaces. Samuel Chukwueze or Moses Simon needs to consistently cut inside and look for goal, supported by aggressive overlapping fullbacks. Next in the midfield, Alex Iwobi must evolve from a deep distributor into a box-to-box or shadow striker threat, exploiting space when Osimhen pulls defenders away. This is the alpha solution. On implementing System Beta when Osimhen is unavailable, deploy Arcor Adams, Boniface, Dessers or Toulouse as a deep-lying forward or false 9. His role is to drop deep and link play, forcing opposition centre-backs to follow him and vacate the central scoring space. That vacated space then becomes the target for the late, goal-scoring runs of Lookman, Simon, and Iwobi. This spreads the scoring burden across 4 or 5 players, making them unpredictable. Another solution is the set-piece revolution. Nigeria have the height in Calvin Bassey, Akon, Toulouse, and Ajayi. Yet, the team have consistently shown incapability in utilizing the height advantage and also vulnerability in defending set-pieces. To explore this, the coach must get a specialized set-piece coach immediately to add to his team. Goals from set-pieces are non-negotiable for winning tight, high-pressure knockout matches. Long-term success requires abandoning the cultural flaw of the miracle mindset, the belief that individual brilliance or luck can substitute for planning, discipline, and science. The NFF must address the systemic administrative issues, payment disputes, lack of technical training centers, and the fact Nigeria has only one approved stadium in Uyo leaves much to be desired of. These deficiencies undermine the blend time and strategic preparation necessary for the team to get its best version, especially without Osimhen. The Osimhen problem is critical, but solvable. Nigeria's path to the World Cup and AFCON glory depends not just on their talisman's goals, but on the coach's courage to diversify. They have the talent, but they need the system. Implement tactical dualism, empower the secondary scorers and replace the reliance on Osimhen's magic with the rigor of planning and execution. That is the only way the Super Eagles can finally soar, consistently, on the global stage. Victor Osimhen is a gift, not a guarantee. He is the face of modern Nigerian football. But even gifts must be protected. If the Super Eagles continue to orbit solely around him, one injury, one bad night, one red card could end a dream that should belong to millions. The time to fix it is now. The time to diversify is now. This is not about taking the crown away. It's about strengthening the kingdom. Because the true measure of a champion is not how much one man can carry, but how well the whole team can rise. This is Football Frenzy, and this is solving the Osimhen problem.